Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about gel pens. As you see, I have a whole assortment of new gel pens that I just got this week, and then I also have an assortment of old gel pens that I've already had. Typically, you guys know that I love Staedtler pens, and so in the past when I have used gel pens, I have bought Staedtler Tri Plus gel liners. I love the Staedtler Tri Plus fine liners, which are not gel pens. They're awesome for your planners because they don't go through the pages, at least not in the Erin Condren Life planners. It doesn't go through the pages. And it's really great for outlining and journaling in your scrapbook pages and Project Life and so on. Although I typically do almost all of my outlining in black and white, or black and gray. I do have a set of these markers because I tend to do journaling outside of scrapbooking as well, and art journaling and so on. So I love these. These are not gel pens, and so I wanted to buy some new gel pens, so I have a whole bunch of them here to review for you guys and show you guys what the differences are. I'm also going to, because I still have these ones in my collection, I'm going to make a chart that shows what all of these pens look like on different kinds of paper, on white paper and on black paper. Some of them will work well, especially the Midnight ones, on black paper. And I'm just going to do a little comparison and show you guys the results. So first I just wanted to show you what I'm going to be comparing. So I am going to be comparing my own Staedtler Tri Plus gel liners that I've had in my collection for many years, and some of these probably don't work all that well because I have used the heck out of them. For white pens, my go-to white gel pen so far has been this Uniball Signo gel liner, which is pigment ink, and I love how it works. So this has been my go-to pen. I also have in my collection, these are old, the Ultimate Gel Pen from American Crafts, and it's really not very well named because it's really not the Ultimate Gel Pen at all. It's a terrible gel pen, but I guess that wouldn't be a nice thing to write on the side of it. So anyhow, it blobs and it doesn't write in a full line. I mean, I think that is a challenge for most white gel pens, is that they tend to be spotty, like they'll be working and then suddenly they don't work and then they work again. And even the Signo Uniball gel roller does do that, but not as often as these. These are just like so frustrating that I believe I only kept them to show how frustrating they are because I really wanted to toss them. So because I was buying so many Gelly Roll, I did try them at my art store, and that's why I decided to buy them, but I didn't want to buy them at the art store because they were really, really expensive. So I got them at Jet Pens with a coupon and a discount. Like I had a gift card, and like they ended up being very, very cheap buying them this way. So I have two Gelly Roll white pens to compare. One is Glaze and one is the regular just Gelly Roll. So I will compare those. Also in my stash from a long time ago, I have two of the exact same color of the Souffle, and these might not work because I see that the ink looks like it has separated inside of it. These are very, very old, like several years old, and I bought them and I didn't end up liking the color or using them as much as I thought, so they've just been sitting on my desk. So I'll check and see if these Souffle ones work. So those are my existing gel pens that I will show you how they work, but my whole purpose of doing this is to, mostly I'm interested, because I know how these ones work, I'm interested in how these Gelly Roll pens are going to hold up to what I expect based on my prior knowledge of gel pens from using these brands. I have an assortment of jelly pens here, Gelly Roll by Sakura. So first I'm going to show you guys the Gelly Roll Moonlight 10, which are designed for writing on dark papers, and so they will show up like a paint pen on a dark paper, and they're gonna look great. I've tried them out in the store, so I know that they're going to look beautiful on dark paper. The ones that are the neons, which are, I think, from green over, definitely from pink over, are the neon colors, and they will glow under a black light. but they are not fade resistant. The ones here are fade resistant, and they will show up on a black surface, but they won't glow under a black light. So these are the Gelly Roll Classic pens, and these are in an assortment of fairly boring colors, just kind of your typical pen colors, with the exception, I guess, of the pink and the orange. A lot of these colors come in ballpoint pen packs that you get at the stationery store. And these, I think, were the original gel pens that came out in the 80s that we all kind of used in our notebooks to decorate and doodle our names and stuff. And so I'm looking forward to kind of using this classic pen for my journaling, and I'm trying to get back into like practicing my lettering and that sort of thing. So I'm going to use these for that. Then I have 2 packs of Gelly Roll Glaze, and actually 3 packs of Gelly Roll Glaze. And I think I'm going to have a couple of repeats of colors here. But anyhow, we have glossy 3D colors. So the glaze stays wet looking. So it looks like a... It holds a bit of a 3D shape, kind of like the Souffle ones did, but with a shine. And it looks wet even after it's dry. So these are going to be fun. I got this pack of 5 that includes a white and a silver, as well as a navy blue, and a green and light blue, and like a browny orangey color. So I'm looking forward to giving those a try. And then just more colors of the same product here. This one has some different colors from this. And again, these dry in a glossy, colorful finish. And then these look like they're the exact same colors as those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, these are exactly the same as those. So I did not mean to buy 2 of these. These are called Aqua Lip, and I thought that they were a completely different product, but then I went online because I can't read the details of this. So I went online to search Aqua Lip, and it seems like these are glaze. At least that's what some of the stores that sell both of them, they say Sakura Aqua Lip Gel Pens, and then in brackets glaze. So I think that these are the same as those. They certainly look the same. They look the same to me. I'll test them out and let you know. These ones come in a nice travel case though, so. And then I got 2 different white gel pens just to try out, to compare them to my standard Uniball Signo pen that I love so much, just to see, because I know that a lot of people do like this as their go-to white gel pen, so I thought I would give it a try. I have 2 versions of it here. I have the Gelly Roll and I have the Gelly Roll Glaze. Now this might be clear. I think that in this package, or this package, it says that it includes a clear one, and maybe, anyhow, this one might be clear. I'm not entirely sure, but this one is definitely white. So again, I'll check out all these details, because that's part of why I bought these, was to figure out what's what and give you guys a sample, so that if you're in the market for gel pens, you'll be able to see what they all look like and make an informed decision about which package to get. Hi guys, so I have a whole bunch of gel pens to show you guys. I bought a lot of Gelly Roll and Glaze pens from Sakura, and I'm going to show you the outcome. I've made little color charts with all of the different kinds that I made. And before I do so, I'm going to show you my comparison of the white gel pens. So the 4 white gel pens that I am comparing are the Ultimate Gel Pen by American Crafts. They all have a ballpoint tip. That's what this one looks like. And the Signo Uniball pen from Mitsubishi Pencil Company. This has been my go-to pen for white for a number of years. And then the Gelly Roll White, which looks like that. I know it's hard to see, but because it's sort of like a white on white, but that's what the tip looks like. And then the Glaze which is also by Sakura, and it's also ballpoint. And then Glaze also makes a clear, so be careful when you're buying. When you buy the brights, it looks like you're getting a white, but you're actually getting a clear. It looks exactly like the white. The only difference, and they look so similar that I actually used a permanent pen to write white and clear on them so that I don't get them mixed up. This one is number 850 and this one is number 800. That's the only difference between them, so it's really easy to get them mixed up. They have very similar lids. This lid is a little bit more pearlized than this one, but they're both pearlized, so it is hard to tell the difference between them. And so this is what the output looks like. So the American Craft Gel Pen, the Ultimate Gel Pen, is really not the Ultimate Gel Pen at all. It's kind of the more inferior of all the ones that I've tested. I can't quite tell that you're going to see just how inferior it is on this video, so I'm actually going to take a picture right now and insert it so that you can see the difference. It's basically only better than the clear. So that says something. So that's how the Ultimate Gel Pen writes. This is how the Signo Uniball writes. This is how the Glaze pen writes. So you see that it is quite a bit more broad, but it's also quite bold. This is how the Gelly Roll writes, and then this is how the Glaze Clear looks on black. So those are the white gel pens. I'm going to put those aside now and talk about the classic. So this is the classic Gelly Roll marker, and this is how they look in black and blue and red, green, brown, purple, orange, royal blue, pink, and burgundy. And this is what those markers all look like. So they do look a little bit different, especially the pink one looks a little bit more purpley than you would expect it to look. The royal blue, yeah, they look, yeah, the blue is very inky blue. It's almost a black, so that's the unexpected one, is that one that looks more like a navy blue is quite dark. It is quite a navy blue. The burgundy actually looks quite brown, and this is what the tips of them look like. They're just like all the other Gelly Roll pens. There's no names of the colors written on them, and so the only way that you can tell is by the lids, and so that's something to keep in mind. So even though I did out a color chart and it says that one is green, I mean, you can tell just by looking at the lids which one is green. But I guess if you had a lot of different shades of these colors, it might get difficult to tell which is which. That's, I guess, the only downside that I can see of it. So those are the classic Gelly Rollers. And then I also, and so those are archival, they're waterproof, and they're fade resistant. And they kind of sink right into the paper, so they're not 3D. They don't have any texture or bumps to them at all. Like they're completely flush with the page. When I run my finger across it, I can't feel where the writing is at all. Then I have a set of Moonlight Gelly Rolls. So I have 10 of those, and they are basically the same marker as these, but they're in more vibrant colors that are designed to show up on black or dark cardstock. And so they are also archival, waterproof, and fade resistant, and they're great for using on colored paper, vellum, and photos. That's what the packaging looks like for these. They're 0.5 millimeter line and a 1.0 millimeter ball, so they are a little bit thicker than the classic ones. These are the colors, and the colors do look quite a bit different than it appears. So this is fluorescent pink, this is fluorescent yellow, and this, I also have a little sample of how they look on white. So this row here is fluorescent yellow. This is fluorescent green, and this is fluorescent vermilion, which is a really beautiful orangey pink. I love that color. And then this is fluorescent orange. And the fluorescent markers are not fade resistant, but they do glow under a black light. The rest of the colors here, which are not fluorescent, they are fade resistant. So there is red, which looks quite pink, to be honest, but they call it red. And then rose, which looks quite purpley pink. I would have called the red rose and the rose maybe purple or violet. Anyhow, then we have purple, which is quite purple. The green is a really beautiful shade of green. I love it. And then the blue is a really pretty blue as well. And I hope that you guys could see that on, I think I was holding it like that. So that's what they look like on black. They're very nice. And they write amazingly smoothly. And the difference between the two, I didn't do a sample of the classics on black. I started to do a sample and they just completely disappear on the black, so it didn't make any sense to do a sample. And so it might be, if you store them all in the same jar, it might be hard to tell which ones are the Moonlight ones and which ones are the classic ones. But one thing that I've noticed, and it's really difficult to tell by the barrel of the pen, but the difference is that so this is a classic jelly roll and this is a Moonlight jelly roll. I'm going to put them down so that it's not so confusing. So the bottom one is a classic jelly roll and the top one is a Moonlight jelly roll. And the classic ones have an 08, that means that that's the size of the ball roller in this pen, and then the Moonlight ones have this little picture of a moon and a star, and they also have that same picture of the moon and the star on the little clip on the lid, whereas this one has a plain lid. So those are the two ways that you can tell the difference between the Moonlight ones and the regular ones, which makes a pretty big difference when you're comparing. Like, for example, these two oranges might look really similar, and so it's nice to be able to distinguish which one will show up on a black background and which one will not. So that way you can store them all in the same place and not have to worry about being able to remember which are which, because you've got the little the little labels on them to say. So those are those ones. And then I have two sets. So I have a 10-pack and a 6-pack in different color shades of the Glaze pens, which are also made by Sakura. And the 10-pack comes with these colors here, which starts with clear, yellow, orange, red, pink, rose, purple, green, blue, and black. These ones are a little bit different in a couple of ways from the other ones. So for one, when I run my finger over it, they are raised. I don't know if you're going to be able to see how raised they are in the video. They also work really great on non-porous surfaces. So this is a piece of, what is this called? It's glossy paper, it's glossy cardstock is what it is. And so I'm going to take a picture in the hopes that it might show up a little bit better on the picture than it does in the video. Maybe it's not really showing up all that well in the picture either. So this is how these 10 colors look, and this is the colors in the 10-pack that's called the Brights 10-pack. So it starts with clear and goes all the way down to black. This is how it looks on regular cardstock. So they say that it's best used on non-porous surfaces, but you'll see that it works perfectly fine on regular cardstock as well. This is how it looks on glossy cardstock, and then this is how it looks on black. And you'll see that most of them just kind of disappear into a shiny black color, but a couple of them hold a bit of color. So the orange, for example, and the pink shows up as like a brown color on black. Those are the only two that really show up very well at all on the black. And then I also got the 6-pack, which includes sepia, turquoise, Hunter Green, Royal Blue, Gray, and White. And so that's how they look, and then that's how they look on black. So that's them on regular cardstock, on glossy cardstock, and then that's them on black. And then I also did a tester of my souffle because I did have 2 of the souffles just in my stash that are also made by Sakura, and I only have the one color of them. And souffle seems to be, I don't know if they're still making it, but it's an older marker, and it seems to be similar to the glaze, but it's a little bit more opaque. It's not quite as shiny, but it does stand up off the, like you can feel it. It is slightly raised. So that's what the glaze pens look like. So the glaze pens are different from the Gelly Roller Classic and the Gelly Roller Moonlight in the barrel. So it says glaze instead of Gelly Roll or Gelly Roll with the Midnight, with the Moonlight. They have the exact same lid as the regular Gelly Roll, and it doesn't have any emblems on it at all like the Moonlight does. So this is the glaze pen compared to a Gelly Roll and compared to a Gelly Roll Midnight. So the other way that they differ from the classic and midnight Gelly Rollers is that the lids, because I store my markers like this, usually sideways. So I store my markers like this, and this is how I usually grab for a marker, is by looking at the lids. And so one thing that you'll notice, if you were to store these together, the glaze ones have a frosted or pearlized lid, whereas the classic and the midnight have a more of a opaque, non-shiny, non-metallic, non-glazed looking lid. So that's one way that you can tell when you're reaching for them which is which. I'm going to store them all together. So I did buy these Aqua Lip. They were for sale at the same store. I got all these at Jet Pens with a coupon and a gift card. And I got these Aqua Lip ones thinking that they would be a different marker in some way, but they're actually not. They come in a nice case, which is convenient for me because I do like to keep some markers kind of off to the side with my coloring stuff. So I'm actually glad that I've got doubles. I probably wouldn't have bought them on purpose, but now that I have them, I don't really regret it. I stuck one of my souffle markers because I have 2 of the same color, so I just thought I'd stick it in here. I'm going to keep these with my coloring stuff, so I'm going to keep all of these with my scrapbooking stuff, and then I have my coloring. I just sometimes will bring it up and do it when I'm at the TV. So I'll keep this in with my coloring stuff just as a separate set that's just dedicated to that. Not something I would have bought an extra set for, but since I have it, I'm going to do that with it. So just so that you know, these Aqua Lip markers, when I searched them online, it seems like stores are calling them the same thing. The stores are saying that they're the same thing as the glaze, and they certainly do look the same as the glaze. I only tried out 3 different colors. It became pretty obvious that they were the same. They feel the same. They look the same. They're pretty much the same. And the stores are calling them, like the stores that sell the Aqua Lip, they put in brackets glaze. So maybe they've just marketed it as a different name in the past, and now they've upgraded it to say to be a different name. Maybe they ran into trouble with Aqua Lip. It sounds like it might be lipstick or something, right? So maybe that's why they changed the name. I'm not entirely sure. But I just wanted to let you know that they seem to be one and the same. If I'm wrong, if somebody knows some other information that I don't know, please let me know and I will correct that. I don't want to spread misinformation, but I'm pretty sure that they're the same product. So the other thing that I just wanted to do was I went through my own gel pens that I already had, and I ended up, I'm going to be throwing away a lot of my old gel pens because they don't work anymore. This is what the Staedtler gel liners look like. So as they dry up, they really don't mark as well. Right now, only my black barely works, my blue barely works. The red and pink work quite well, so I'm going to hang on to those, and I'll probably ditch the rest of them. My Marvy gel pens, which are metallic gel pens. here they are. I've never been a huge fan of Marvy pens, and they don't work. The silver doesn't work at all, and the gold really just looks like yellow, so I'm throwing those out as well because I have nicer yellow markers than that. And then the Pilot gel pens, the metallic Pilot gel pens, which I have right here, they mark like that. The bronze one still works quite well. The blue one is pretty spotty and it doesn't run all that smoothly. So I'll probably throw away the blue one because I have nice fresh, not metallics, but I do have nice fresh gel markers, and I don't know why I would ever pick a splotty blue one when I have so many other to choose from. So I'll hang on to the bronze one and I'll probably actually put it in with my coloring stuff because I might want it in that kind of a situation more than I would in a scrapbooking situation. So I'll hang on to the pink and the red and the black, but I think I'll throw away the rest of these Staedtler gel liners. One thing that you'll notice is that the gel liners that do work, they are quite a bit more fine than the Gelly Rolls. So if you're looking for a really fine point, the Gelly Rolls might come in fine point. These are considered a medium point. And I didn't really look around to see if they come in a fine point, but the fine liners by Staedtler are finer than the medium point of the Gelly Rolls. So something to keep in mind if you're ordering pens. So that's my little analysis or review, I guess, of jelly rollers and comparing white gel pens. Thanks so much for watching my video, and have a really great scrappy week.